Welcome into a new season of Ohio Bobcats hockey. Ryan Boyd joined by Kevin Noonan for a second year broadcasting together for the Ohio Bobcats. And to begin our video series as we get set for the season, Kevin, we wanted to break down the 2013-2014 roster for these Cats. First thing to talk about, though, before we talk about players, is a new head coach for the team. Dan Morris is out after 12 years, and Jonathan Sheridan steps in. He was an assistant last year. Now he gets his chance to lead the team. If you're going to pick someone to lead a team, he's one of the most capable guys around.
Yeah, Ryan, I couldn't agree anymore. I think Jonathan Sheridan is absolutely the right candidate to fill in this head coaching void. As you said, he was here last year, so he has some familiarity with the players. I know the guys really like him, and I think he's going to be a great fit. Maybe a little bit of a different style than Dan Morris, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. He looks to be very promising in his first head coaching career, first head coaching job, and I think he's going to have a great career here at Ohio.
So how about the team that he is coaching this year? The Bobcats have 32 players that are joining the team for 2013. 21 of those guys will be returners from last year. Let's start by talking about a couple of the forwards. Obviously, they lose Tyler Pillmore. They lose Nick Rostek, two of the best scorers in this school's history. But they do bring back some familiar faces, led, of course, by Brett Agnew.
Yeah, Ryan, Brett Agnew is absolutely going to be the guy that's going to fill in that void left by Tyler Pillmore. He's going to be the go-to guy for this team. There's no question about it. But if you look at this team, 4 of the top 6 point scorers are back, including 2 guys that were freshmen last year, Michael Harris and J.D. Howard. I think those guys are going to be very important as well, as all these newcomers are. It's going to be a very interesting roster to see how everything kind of fits together, but I think when you look at it as a mix of veterans and newcomers, this is going to be a very talented team as far as forwards are concerned.
Well, listen, if you're excited about the forwards that are back, you'll really be excited about the defensemen that are back. In fact, Ohio brings back every single defensive player from last year, led, of course, by 2 seniors, Duncan Green and J.C. Gulch. In the words of Dan Morris, they are 2 of the finest defensemen in this nation.
Ryan, there's no better luxury to have in the ACHA than to have 2 defensemen that are as talented as J.C. Gulch and Duncan Green. And talking to both of those guys, they think this defensive core is as good as it's ever been since they've been here. That really says a lot, and I think it's going to be a very good unit. At the beginning of the season, when everyone's kind of trying to work together, some of the new guys are trying to integrate into this team, it's going to be very important to have a strong defense, and that's exactly what Ohio is going to have this season.
So 21 returners. There are also 11 newcomers on this team. Last year, the Bobcats got more than 150 points from their newcomers. They also got 11 wins between the pipes. Kevin, the Bobcats are going to expect more of the same from the 11 new faces.
It's going to be very important. We saw how big it was last year with so much of the team being new and what they were able to accomplish, winning a CSCHL championship, getting to the semifinals of the ACHA national tournament. It's going to be important for these guys to do the same thing this year, and I think this is a group that's really capable. What we've seen so far of these guys, they look like they're the real deal. We've seen a lot of size, a lot of guys 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and that's something that this team lacked last year. They didn't have a whole lot of size, and that's ultimately why they struggled in the ACHA national tournament. But it seems like they have that this year, and they're very prepared to take on some bigger teams around the league.
Kevin, certainly a lot of positives surrounding the team, whether it be newcomers or the returning players, but there is one question mark. The goaltending situation for Ohio is not what it was last year, as they lose Fedor Dushkin. They also lose Matt Michno, who is a graduate student. Someone is going to have to step up in that position.
Yeah, there's no question. There's just no way around it that the goaltending position, there's just not a whole lot of experience there. You can look at some of the guys that are returning, Ian Smith and Aaron Alkema. They might play some part. You also have 2 new guys. Maybe one of those guys steps up. It remains to be seen, but I'll tell you what, Ryan, we talked a lot about the defense and how strong they're going to be this year. I think that's very important for these relatively new goaltenders, being able to settle into their position. They have a very strong defense in front of them, so that should help them out quite a bit here in the early weeks of the season.
Bobcats' first game is coming up. It is on September 20th, Parents Weekend here at Bird Arena. Make sure you make your way out to the arena if you can do so. With that being said, make sure you check out all of our social media and go to our official website, OhioBobcatsHockey.com.